Cash only, you say?
Tow truck story reminded me of my own tow truck MCA few years ago. Obligatory mobile post, sorry bad formatting, yada yada. I was living in an apartment with a small lot. And during the winter, if there was a storm, we were supposed to move our car to the street for the plow. Usually we would get an email and or text with the time to be out by. Usually. So one night overnight we get about 1.5 inches of snow. This is a place that gets a decent amount of snow. So no big deal. I wake up at a normal time. No text or anything. It's gonna be like 40 degrees and sunny, so it's gonna melt anyway. I figure I don't need to bother moving the car, so I sit down to play some video games before I go to work. Around 10 a.m. or so, I hear the plow outside and say, "Ah, okay. Get my boots and coat on and get ready to go." I get outside. Plow is gone and people are starting to move back into the lot, so rather than move my car for the sake of moving it, I clear off the snow, grab my shovel and clean out around the car where it got plowed in. Honestly, our plow drivers suck, so it was the cleanest spot in the lot. Go back inside for an hour or so. Walk outside to go to work and car is gone. Thinking face, what's that about? I didn't get any call or notification or anything. Nobody knocked on my door. I'm 99.9% sure it got towed, but I'm fuming, so I called the police non-emergency line to report it stolen. Police super helpful. I explain the situation and that it's probably towed, but I'm confused as to why it was towed. They say it's a civil matter, so they aren't going to charge anyone with theft, but they are at least able to locate where the car is. Tow shop across town. $15 cab fee. Whoopee. Call the shop to confirm my car is there and see what the damage is. $180 cash only. This is like 2019 in the United States, so cash only kinda weird, but I was working at a winery, making tips, so I had a lot of cash saved for a rainy day luckily. A quirk of that is that being a small place, oftentimes the tips are in small bills. And we usually don't have enough big bills to exchange them. So on a day I make $100 plus in tips, I leave with a lot of ones and fives. First I tackle my change jar and count out $18 of loose change. Then I get the rest of the cash. As many ones as I can. Then 2 fives gets me to $180 even. Perfect. Honestly, this was only half malicious and half wanting to take the opportunity to unload the absurd amount of cash I had laying around. But off I go. Get to the shop. Ask if there's anything they can do, because I really don't think they had a real reason to tow me. Nope, nothing we can do, just following orders, the person behind the counter says with a very smug grin. Her grin turned to horror when I pulled out the change bag. I spend the next 15 minutes watching her meticulously count out pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, ones, fives, $180 even. I'm $10 short. I misheard her on the phone. It was $190. I pull a $20 out of my wallet and ask for the 2 fives back. Oh man, she was pissed. Was this petty, and did the tow truck desk lady do nothing wrong? Absolutely. But if you're gonna tow people's cars and make them pay nearly $200 in cash, don't be surprised when they bring cash. I'm confused. What did the reason end up being as to why they towed you? Because it's sounding like some random tow company stole your car and charged you $190 to get it back. I think being smug about it made her deserve it. I get the idea of having tenants move their cars out of the lot to make it easier for the snowplow driver to clear the lot. But what do they do when there's enough snow that cars aren't able to leave the lot until it's cleared? I was a Navy recruiter in New Haven, Connecticut. In 1995, we got away with pretty much parking anywhere we wanted because some tow truck driver towed a federal law enforcement vehicle full of weapons, just as they were getting ready for a drug raid on a grouping of abandoned houses. Could you imagine? Okay guys, let's gear up and get these guys. Wait, where's the car? All the guns were in the trunk? So about 2 weeks into my tour in New Haven, I had some run-in with some city official who ran the plate on my government car. Apparently, there were hundreds of unpaid parking tickets affiliated with my plate car. The guy was acting like he was going to hold me responsible. And things got a bit heated for a few minutes. When he got mad, and I became belligerent. Finally, I told him that I'd just been issued the car a few days earlier, and offered him the phone number to GSA, Government Services Administration. Apparently it was under a city contract that the weapons vehicle was towed, which resulted in a lot of anger, stress, and finger-pointing between city, state, and federal officials. The end result was a moratorium on towing anything with government plates. There's a tow company where I live that patrols the parking lots just off the university campus. We were working on campus and went to get some lunch. Apparently, you're not supposed to cross the street once you park because you're not shopping in the strip mall. Anyway, our work van got towed. I don't remember the amount, but they required cash and would not accept change or stacks of ones. My coworker got the payment in $2 bills. Best we could do and still make it inconvenient for them. For those not in the US, $2 bills aren't in general circulation, but you can get them from a bank. All stores that have a cash drawer have a slot for 1, 5, 10, 20, 50 100ths generally. 5 slots, usually the last slot will be $50s generally, and any 100 bills will get put under the tray. So imagine then giving them about $100 2 bills. Why did you get towed and had to pay for it? Sorry, my reading comprehension is ass. Former tow-op here. Cash only on impounds is fairly standard, as credit card chargebacks are too difficult to dispute, thanks to motor clubs like Ajero and Nation Safe Drivers. In addition to private individuals filing chargebacks against completed work, many tow companies, at least in my area, are cash only on impounds, and only accept checks from insurance companies, mechanic shops, and body shops. So glad that such a cash payment would be illegal in Canada. The Currency Act says anything more than 25c in pennies paid to a person in a single day is not considered legal tender. There are limits per coin value, e.g. no more than $10 in 0.25 coins, up to no more than 1 coin valued at $10 or more. It's cash only because people will dispute the charges with their credit card company. Tow companies are often criminal, price-gouging scumbags. Normally a dick move, but her smugness changes that. Info. Who called the tow truck and why weren't you notified to move your car? An inch and a half of snow? Who in the hell brings out the plows for an inch and a half of snow? She should have given you $10 change in pennies. That would be funny. Sounds like you got scammed, so not really what I'd call a win. The reason tow companies only take cash is that most of their customers are already pissed off. If they took cards, they'd spend forever fighting chargebacks. And if they took checks, 3/4 of them would bounce. Shitty towing companies sometimes want cash so they don't have to report the income. We are pretty sure they stole my son's hang tag and towed him from his own apartment lot. They wanted cash. I didn't have $1 bills but insisted on a receipt before I handed over the cash. That somehow turned into a huge argument with the tow operator screaming at us, and she threatened to call the cops, which I agreed to. So then she gave me the receipt and keys. I've never even seen snow in person, so this is mind-boggling to me. I would have given you your change back starting with the pennies, nickels. I'm pretty sure the cash-only policy protects them from you taking your car and initiating a chargeback. I will tell you a secret: not one rich dude in your town thinks that tow thieves are a problem that impacts them or requires oversight or regulation. Nobody has their manservant read the paper to them and says, "Gosh, that's a problem I need to get in front of because it might have negative consequences for me personally." What would have to happen for rich dudes to call their representatives and instruct them to get this under control? Will anything improve if these things do not happen and rich dudes do not make those phone calls? Also, something to look into: cash only is illegal in some states. I remember reading a story about a person who got towed and couldn't get their car back because of cash-only requirements at the impound lot. They took a bunch of pictures and sued. Ended up costing the towyard a ton of money. Edit. Spelling.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicuricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.